Welcome back, you guys, to another video with Jack and Coke Uncensored. Today is going to be a story time, and today's story time is going to be on our birthing experiences, our pregnancy story. Do you want to go first?
Mine is short because I don't remember it. So I'll go first.
14 years ago.
Oh, I was about to say, you thought I was 14. I'm like, every time you say something, it gets lower and lower. I said I was 14 years old. No. So birthday. Okay, I was 17, and it was fast. Oh, thank God, because it was bad. I couldn't even imagine like anything longer than it was, and it was short, and it was bad. I remember that day I had little cramps here and there. I was timing them, and it was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Like, it was nothing. And they weren't bad. And you know how everyone tells you that they're so bad? Like, oh my God, you're not
It's
gonna
like a
take
million
the
times
pain.
worse than period cramps.
Like, all these things, right? So, the pain I was having, I was like, it's not that bad yet. So, I was like, I'm good. Nighttime comes, and I'm timing them, and they're already like 4 minutes forward. And I'm like, but it doesn't hurt that bad yet, right? So, I'm like, okay. And my water broke. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure. I didn't pee myself. Because I had just finished peeing. So then I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is my water breaking. And then I went to woke up my mom, like, hey, I think the baby's coming. And she's like, ay, córrele. She was so nervous, and it was so funny because I'm like, anyways. Whatever, slow and shit. And she's like, it was in the middle of the night, so there was no cars on the road. But she was fucking speeding and running red lights. Like, I was like literally about to like give birth, right?
My mom's a mess.
And I was like, calm down. Like, I'm the one giving birth, you calm down. And we get there, and she didn't speak English. And they moved me to another room, obviously, because she was filling out some paper. Even though I had already filled out the paperwork, they still were like, oh, you gotta fill this shit out. And so she stayed downstairs, and they took me upstairs. Okay, and I'm like shaking my leg, like, because I was starting to feel them, and I was like, right? So they take me up, and I'm like concerned, like, in labor, concerned how my mom's gonna find me. Because they spoke English, and she didn't. So I'm like, how's she gonna know where to find me?
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck. So they take me up, and she found me. And okay, in my mind, we got there at 2:03, and I could have sworn it was 30 minutes because she was born. And you know how they strap you to check the heart rate? They did that, and to me that hurt way more than the fucking cramps. That made the cramps so much more intense.
Really, it's just to hit for the.
I know, but it made it hurt 1,000 times worse. So when they took it off, they're like, all right, she's about to have give birth. It stopped hurting as much. I don't know. And I remember they took me to the labor and delivery room. And I was 17, but I looked like I was like 13. Because I don't know why. And I'm pretty sure the nurses were like, this dumb bitch.
This little ass girl.
Fuck a little fat ass little girl. Okay, I was 17 though. I wasn't 13. And whatever. It was fast. Like, it was 6 o'clock out of nowhere. So,
Shit.
3 hours.
Shit.
3 freaking hours. I was like, now, I remember it hurting, but the part where I'll never forget, and this is why I won't have any more kids, is when the shoulders come out. That bitch hurt. I was like, what's this? Get this demon out of me. You know the Cardi one going out right now? I was like, yeah. Because, I was like, hell no. Why? Why?
Funny.
And I remember Maria was there, our older sister, my daughter's dad was there, and normally you have 2 people. So my mom was like, oh, okay, I'll leave. Yeah, she was hiding behind the curtain. You mean about her curtain? Or the fact that she was hiding? Both. Because they closed the curtain, obviously, and she was like, I could see her like this.
I can't stand her.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not missing this. And I mean, to me it was easy. Besides the pain, it was easy, so that's good. I didn't have an epidural because again, it hurt, but I was expecting more pain. So to me, pain-wise, once I was doing it, that's where the shoulders hurt the most. because pain wise, my imagination was like it's up here because people hyped it up so bad, but in my mind I was like here. I was expecting it to be a lot worse. So maybe that helped. Psychologically, I was like, oh, it's not that bad because it's gonna get worse, because it didn't hurt as much as I thought. And my blood pressure went up afterwards, and that's the only complication I had. My blood pressure went up, so they had to medicate me, and that's it. I have a 14-year-old little brat.
But how was your pregnancy though? Like,
It was like, I was like, it wasn't bad. Like I don't know if I had morning sickness because everything makes me want to throw up. So I don't know. And then, I mean, I didn't have pain. I was 17, so technically I'm like, you know how like oh, just that's, you know, like
that's
young.
joven.
That's joven, like you know, young, strong, fast. Because I'm pretty sure if I was pregnant now, I'd be like, oh. So, nah, nothing hurt. I wasn't swollen. My back didn't hurt. I didn't have. You know, you're on camera, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Don't be crying later when I don't cut that out. 'Cause I was talking.
Sorry.
What else? Yeah, I to me, it was an easy pregnancy, and then an easy delivery. Just because, again, I'm sure if I didn't know how painful it was gonna be, or no one told me constantly it doesn't hurt like a bitch, it would have hurt more.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was easy. It was 14 years ago, so I don't remember.
Wish I
details.
had that experience.
Your experience? If I already didn't want to have more kids, like, you seal the deal with that. Because hell no.
So where do I start? So my pregnancy was shit. It was fucking shit. The first trimester, I was always fucking gagging. I couldn't hold anything down. I was always puking.
Remember? I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I mean, we do everything together, so it's just like, anytime we're in the car, I'll be like, my bad. I'm so sorry. Because not the type of person that does that, you know, like, it takes a lot for me to be asquerosa, you know? And
shots getting thrown my way.
so, you know, it's like, it was, I don't know. So it was just weird. And throughout the pregnancy, I mean, the pregnancy itself, I feel like if it wasn't for the nausea, the chronic nausea, I think it would have been like an okay pregnancy. But the nausea only got worse throughout my pregnancy.
I'm hungry again. Every time I'm recording, I'm hungry.
Get yourself together, please. Should have ate.
Shut up. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I feel like my pregnancy, kind of like, it was okay, but it was just a nausea that was just like fucking me up. And then, second trimester, it went away for like literally like a week, and then it came back. And then my third trimester, I was still feeling like really like, I was trying to take like, you know, like remedies for the nausea, and it still wouldn't go away.
Remember those lollipops and those little suckers used to like stay having? Cause
Yeah.
And then the worst part was it was like a 20-pack, and you can only have the one flavor that only had like 5 per 20. That's...
Yeah, so I was taking those, and those helped a little bit, but I was still feeling very nauseous. I got swollen a lot when I was pregnant. For my baby shower, my feet looked like elephant feet. So gross. They usually look like little baby hippo feet. Now oh my god, I'm just joking. Let's see. What else? I feel like I said, overall I think my pregnancy was you know, like, would I do it again? No. And then it's so funny because, well, I mean, it's not funny, but I was supposed to be due April 9th, and I ended up having my son March 24th. And Um, it was crazy. That's all I gotta say. Crazy. Because it's like you don't expect everything that happens. I mean, obviously it happens for a reason, but it's just like you don't expect the things that happen to you, through pregnancy. Like, you really, like, it's crazy. So on March
23rd.
Yeah, March 23rd, I wasn't feeling good. And I told my sister, like, I don't feel good, right? And then my sister was massaging me because I just didn't feel good.
Not me.
My other sister.
It was your feet. Gross.
So she wasn't like massaging them to the point where you're just like, you could hit something and then, you could have
pressure point?
Yeah. It was just like, she was like, literally like, because my feet were like swollen. So she was just like, kind of like,
rubbing it? Maybe?
Yeah, like, it was just like, kind of like, it was like soft. She wasn't like applying pressure or like anything like that. So then.
Or were your feet so swollen that you didn't feel the pressure?
Could have been. So, I ended up falling asleep while she was massaging me, and then like it was like
It was like midnight.
It was like midnight, and I had to get up and pee, right? So usually when I get up to use a restroom or anything, right when I wake up, I have to sit down, and then I put my hands in between my thighs, and then I'm just like, trying to prepare myself to get up in the coldness of the night. So I'm just like, getting ready, and then I can feel, I'm like, was I sweating? Like, what the hell? Like, weird, right? I was like, did I pee myself? No, because I have to go pee, like, what the hell, right? So then I went to the restroom, and when I got to the restroom, I peed, and then, I wiped myself, and then I had blood, so I was just like, what's going on right here, right? Like, like, what's going on? So then I got kind of like scared, and so I got up, whatever. I went back to my room, and I sat down on my bed, and I went on Google, obviously.
Duh.
I went on Google, and I was just like, I was like, why am I bleeding? Blah blah blah, whatever, right? So then it was just, I was just like, what the fuck, like, I was getting freaked out. So then I was just like, fuck, should I tell my dad, or should I tell, Matthew's dad, or, what's going on, right? And then I had the urge to pee again. So then I get up, and as I'm walking, so it's my bed, and then like 5 feet away is the door. So I hit the corner of my bed, and I'm walking, and as soon as I get to like literally open the door, my water breaks. And I was just like,
how did it feel? I don't remember.
It literally felt like a faucet turned on my vagina.
Oh.
And all you hear was, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't just pee on myself. I'm pretty sure that's not pee. That can't be pee. That's a lot of pee. And it was like literally a whole, it was like a whole, like, a lot.
I believe you.
It was, well, I'm not telling you, I'm telling them. It was a lot, like, I was just like, what the hell? And as I'm walking, like, it's still like gushing out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not peeing. I'm not peeing. Like, it's not peeing. Like, I think my water just broke, right? So then I go to the restroom, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because it was still coming out, and I was just like, that's a lot of fucking fluid. Like, what the fuck, right? So then I get up and waddle my ass to her bed, and I'm just like, and I was so scared to wake her up, because, if you listen to one of our podcasts that will come out on the 20th of February, you'll know why. But I was scared to wake her up, so I had to go in there, and I had to just be like, hey. So I think my water just broke.
Calm down. Just FYI. Not a big deal or anything.
I was just like, relax. Just so you know.
Why are you so loud? Calm down. And I'm just like, what?
I was like, I think my water just broke. And she's just like, are you sure you didn't pee yourself?
Gotta ask these questions sometimes.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't pee myself. That's a lot of pee if it was pee.
Because I know, like, if you laugh, you pee, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Your water did break. Because it was something I hate, then to the hospital for something that's nothing.
Yeah, same.
Cause you wait forever, and they're like, "I'm not good."
Wait it out. And I wanted to wait it out, but I had gotten tested for, I don't remember what it is. It's like one of the last tests that you get, and I came back positive. So I had to get medication for it. Because if not, it could, something could happen to the baby. I'm gonna try to remember. I'm gonna see if I can look it up. I don't remember what it was. But, so I was like, no, like, we have to, I'm like, I'm gonna go take a shower. Because, I was like literally all wet. My pajamas were wet. Like everything was wet. So I'm like,
pajamas?
My pajamas?
You started it.
Go.
The pajamas were all wet. You took a shower.
So I took a shower and then I was like, all right, let's go. Right? So then I'm like nervous on the ride over there. And I'm like, should I text my baby daddy right now? Or should I just wait? What if it's nothing? So I was like, no, I'm just going to text him because, I was like, just FYI. I'm going to the hospital. I think my water just broke. And then we get to the hospital and they're texting me. They're like, so are you sure you didn't pee yourself? And I was like,
I should be a nurse.
No, I did not pee myself. Also, there's blood. So figure it out, Figure it out. So she's like, are you sure? Because, are you having any contractions? Blah, blah, blah. No. Are you sure you didn't pee yourself? No, I didn't pee myself. Like, they kept pushing it like, okay, so I guess we'll,
I guess we'll check.
Okay,
good.
I was like, yes, bitch, check. So then she's like, it's because a lot of people come in here. They think that their water broke, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, guess what? That's not the case here. My water broke. So, they had do a little swab, and then 30 minutes later, my baby daddy had got in there, and then a couple minutes after that, they came in, they're like, okay, so in fact, your water did in fact break. And yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to put you in a room, because I had told them about that, I forgot what test that was.
It was some type of, virus, right? Or bacteria?
Yeah.
That one in, 4 women have?
Yeah, so it's something like that, and I tested positive for it, so whatever. And I was like, the doctor told me that once my water breaks, that I have to be in the hospital for it to, get medication for it, because, whatever. So, so they put me in another room, and then I text my sister, telling her, I was like, okay, so I guess y'all gonna meet him soon.
Go ahead.
I guess y'all gonna meet him soon because it's time, right?
I was so scared.
And I wasn't scared at first. I don't know, I feel like maybe I just had a lot of emotions, but scared wasn't one of them. I was just like, shit, like this is really happening right now, right? And I go in there, and then they start testing me, and then they're like, okay, so BT dubs, you have low platelets, so you can't get an epidural. Also, here's some medication. And then they induced me, and once they induced
they had induced you.
Once that medicine hit, after it was maybe a couple of minutes after they put it in, cause I think it was after they got to maybe level 5 or level 6 when I started feeling really bad. Cause at first I'm like, oh, they're not that bad. I just kept shaking, cause I guess at this point I was already kind of nervous and scared, and
it was cold in there.
Yeah, so I was shaking, and I was just fuck, and it was already they had the thing on me, and his heartbeat kept going up and down, it was weird, so they kept trying to come and move it, and it was still it was still weird. So I really didn't pay mind to it, because I thought it was just the little strap fucking up. But then afterwards, when you think about it, I'm like, no, maybe it was because because of that. Well, at least I think.
He was like, nah, get me out of here.
So where was I? Oh, so yeah, so I was like on like level 6. They were trying to get me to level 10, and I was just like, can we like stop because it's starting to hurt, right? So now I'm like tossing and turning, and like they can't give me like actual like medication. So they were giving me like, they gave me this medicine to knock me out during, while I wasn't having contractions. And once I had contractions, I would wake right back up, and I would, obviously go through the pain.
Thing, and then go.
And then I would knock right back out. So they basically gave me like, what? Like, I don't know what the fuck they gave me. I forgot.
Drugged her.
Yeah, they drugged me. But none of them were pain. Actually, none of them were pain relievers.
I mean, well, how come Matthew came out all jittery then? I think it was a sort of pain reliever, but it just didn't work.
Maybe.
Because, yeah, no. She'll be like...
It was so bad. It was so fucking bad.
Back to sleep.
It was so bad. Like, I remember that. And I was just like, I didn't think I was going to cry because of the pain, but yeah, it was so bad. Like, just like all of that. And then going into labor, like actual active labor, like it was just all bad. Like,
I forgot about the preeclampsia, no?
oh yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, we've solved this problem.
Yeah, so it was a platelets, and it's like, oh yeah, you have preeclampsia?
Yeah.
What's it called?
And you were at risk of preeclampsia.
Oh yeah. I was at risk of preeclampsia, so they were like, oh, we have to do this, and I was just like, so then they told me like, oh, you can't get an epidural because of like whatever, because of everything that was going on. And then I went into active labor after like forever. What time did I get there? So I got into a room around maybe 2, 3. And then, I went, 2, 3. And then I didn't have them until 1 in the afternoon. So I was in labor for what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. 10 hours. I was in labor for 10 hours. And when he came out, all I heard was, and mind you, the whole time that I was in active labor, I was still like, when the pain would go away, I would like, knock out, and then when I had a contraction, I would wake back up. So as they're telling me like, like, hey, like it's time to push, like I would push and then I would knock right back out. And then
let me pause you real quick. On the other side of this story was me and the dad at first, right? Mm-hmm. So then once shit started getting real, like when they started talking about her platelets being really low, and then at risk for preeclampsia and all that stuff. That's what you were trying to prevent when you woke me up. Let me gently wake her up. All that started coming up. So now I'm losing my shit on the inside, but I'm trying not to lose my shit on the outside. So I'm like, let's go. They got it. Obviously, they've dealt with this for so many people. Like, they know what to do. They're good. I'm texting Maria, our older sister. Can you come? I'm scared. So she's like, no, you got it, I was like, yeah, no, I don't need you here for Socorro. I need you here for me.
Fucking bitch.
I'm like, I can't do it. It's too much. Yeah, it was scary.
It was scary.
The whole time I wanted to cry, and so I'm like holding it in, right? And I didn't used to cry, so now everything makes me want to cry. So but yeah, so I had to call my sister, so she came, and then our niece came. So now it's Dad, me, our older sister, and our niece. So that's 4 of us in the room, okay? And now she's like doing her little waking up and all that stuff. Me and my niece are like we would hold our breath throughout the whole contraction. We were like, and then you'd be like, and we're like, woo!
Yeah.
We wouldn't make eye contact either.
I was so in so much pain and also like really out of it that they told me that I looked at him and I was like, please help me. Please help me.
You were like, I don't know what to do. You look like you were like someone was like, example maybe like, had you strapped to the bed and was like cutting off a leg or something. That's how much pain you look like you were in.
I was in a lot of pain. Like it was bad, and I don't think that being induced helped it any bit because sure that hurt like a million times more. Because I was having contraction before, and they were okay, and then like the first levels of being induced, like it was okay, and then when they hit like the highs that they said that they could do, that it was just like really bad, like really bad.
Well, and then they induced you because of that bacteria thing, because you were taking too long to dilate, so they needed her like in chinga, and she was like, "Hurry, you'll take."
Also, side note, it was so funny because that same day on the 23rd, I had a doctor's appointment, and the doctor was like, "You might be passing the date because I don't look like you want to come." And he's like, "I don't even know. He's in there." And he's gonna stay in there until maybe afterwards.
We're like, oh, gotta wait some more, and then that night we're like, no, we're scared. We're not ready.
Yeah, that shows because he's like, you're not even like nowhere close to being dilated, and you know whatever. My OBGYN, he was dope as well. I like him. I think if I were to ever have a kid again, I'd go to him. It was
20 minutes ago. She was like, yeah, I'm never doing it again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just saying if I were ever to, then I would go to him again. He's cool. He's funny. But anyways, yeah, so we get to the part where he's finally like crowning and, you know, well, I'm finally crowning and it's just like, you know, it's getting real and it's just like, shit, he's about to come like for real. And then, so now we get to the point where I'm crowning and he's about to come and then it's just like, okay. And again, I didn't get to, it's crazy because I didn't really get to enjoy my labor, like my active labor and like all of that because, you know.
Who enjoys that?
You do enjoy it. You're supposed to enjoy it. Like you're about to like give, you know, whatever. Like, I don't know.
Whoever enjoys this an epidural and they can't give a shit. Because hell no one enjoys that.
Like it was crazy because, okay, so whatever. That's besides the point. So we're, you know, he's already coming out and, you know, all I hear, like, cause I like go out of it where they're like, you know, just one more push and then blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as I you know,
wait, you forgot the part where the doctor was downstairs drinking coffee.
Oh yeah. Motherfucker was downstairs drinking his coffee, waiting for me to be like already ready to go. Like, bitch, if you don't get your ass up here and
he had a lop head, like, what was wrong with his head? It was like all weirdly shaped because you had to hold.
Yeah.
Until the doctor came upstairs.
Yeah, they're like, don't push, he's coming. And I was like, bring him now.
They're just chilling in her Virginia.
Like, drinking coffee, just minding his business. Not bitch. And then he comes in, he's like, hey, let's go. Yeah, he comes in, he's like, hey, what happened? I'm like, if you don't hurry up, motherfucker, like, you know? So, you know, whatever. He gets there, and then I finally, you know, whatever, push and finally get him out. And when he comes out, I instantly knock out. And then all I hear, like, it's so weird because I hear, like, I feel like I was knocked out, but I was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was aware-ish of, like, of everyone's, like, my surroundings. So it was just like, oh my God, doctor, do you see that? Do you see that? And then I could hear everyone,
wow, oh my goodness.
Do you see how big it is? Do you blah blah blah? And I'm like, at this point, I'm starting to like kind of come out of it because like in my head, I'm like,
what's so big?
What's going on? Like, he got a big head.
How big is my baby?
Like, what the hell? Like, I was like, what the hell? So then they're like, wow, doctor, wow, like blah blah blah, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, what the hell? And then I hear the doctor tell my sister and my son's dad, like, do you guys see how big that is? Like, if he would have stayed in there till his due date or just a couple of days, he would have died.
That was the nurse.
That was the nurse?
She told me that. Fucking bitch. remember she showed him to you, and you're like, oh, right, and then that's when they were gonna clean him up and all that. So then I'm recording you guys, and then she turns to me and she's like, oh, you see that? And I was like, what? And then I'm like, oh shit. And then she's like, if you
he had a knot like this big. What was big? Like this big. If his umbilical cord was, I don't know. I guess his. You know what's so funny that I think about it? I'm like, he probably like, at an early age, he kind of probably, twisted or whatever, right? My God, what if it was brujeria? No.
I'm gonna just stop. So the nurse tells me, she says, if he would have stayed until the due date, he wouldn't have made it, and he was supposed to go past his due date, and we're like, oh shit, like what were the odds that same day you have an appointment, the doctor's like, you're not even close, like nah, and then you freaking give birth that day.
I know. And it's so funny because he comes in, he's like, hey, what happened? We just saw you. Or did you miss me? Or like, because I had just seen him that day, so it's just like, you really wanted to have that baby, didn't you? No! But yeah, so
that was crazy.
That was sad. I mean,
he came out so scrawny, and during the ultrasounds, he was so chunky. We're like, oh, you can see his roll. Remember, he was a fat ass little baby in there.
I think because of the last weeks, or maybe maybe the last weeks, he wasn't getting enough nutrients or whatever. He started getting he started losing weight. So, but which is funny because he looks scrawny, but he weighed 7 pounds 1 ounce when he was born, and then he was born with very severe fucking jaundice. So there goes that. I had to have him on a machine.
No, he was a little alien.
Yeah, he lost a whole pound. So when he was born, like I said, 7 pounds 1 ounce, and then he lost literally a whole pound because he weighed 6 pounds 1 ounce. When I took him to the doctor again to go get, because for a whole week after,
How many days later? Like 2 days after, or what?
Yeah. So because for a whole week, I was at the doctor's office, here and there, going to different appointments because of his jaundice and all this shit, and it was just
yeah,
boy. But yeah, that was my story of my labor. It's still crazy to me because to think that I wouldn't have that little annoying little kid running around right now is,
dude. So okay, back
scary.
to this side of the story, right? So I remember, so the lady scares the shit out of me, and we're all like, oh shit, right? Pause. Technically, we're supposed to kick me and Maggie out because there's 4 people in the room, but we were fucking on the couch, we're not in the way. Hell no. And I'm so surprised they let us stay. Honestly.
I had good insurance back then.
Girl.
Yeah, she got that money. We're gonna charge her for those extra 2 people.
So okay, so they show us the knot, whatever, and it was huge. It was I've never seen a knot before, but bitch, it was a big. Okay, it wasn't that big. I'm so dramatic. Should I put a picture? I'm gonna try to put a picture in there.
I have a picture of him with his little thingy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was scary, right? So then, days going on, everybody comes to see him, blah blah blah. Mind you, as they're doing that, I'm sitting on the couch and I can see fluids coming out. And the doctor, they gotta do all that extra stuff.
Yeah, I had to get stitched up because things that people don't talk about in fucking pregnancy or whenever you get pregnant, they don't tell you that there's a thing called tearing when you got motherfuckers with big heads. Imagine if it would have came out chunky. Yeah, that shit would have been bad. Your fucking vagina and butt would have connected. Bad. Oh my God, that's scary. Yeah. And the healing process. People don't talk about that either, and that's a whole nother subject. Well, so okay, that was scary, whatever. And then I go home, and I remember I hadn't slept because you can't sleep on a fucking couch in the hospital. What the fuck? So I get home, and I was telling my dad, the other side of the story, because, he gets there and he sees the baby and all that. And I'm like, can you believe all this happened? And I'm fucking sobbing because
when she got pregnant, I remember wanting to be. I was fucking excited, right? But I have a thing where if I get too excited, something happens and it gets taken away. So then, to know that he was born with that big ass knot, and if he would have been in there for 2 weeks longer, like he wouldn't have made it. It was like my biggest fucking fear was like there the whole fucking time, and that I fucking cried myself to sleep. I was like, and we would say like, you know, my mom probably had Monica in there like with the fucking massage and popped her bag and all that stuff because, man, that was scary.
I mean, looking back at it, it's just like a blessing in disguise, and I'm happy that happened, because if not, like I said, we wouldn't have that little troll running around right now, getting on my damn last nerve, being annoying, but I wouldn't have all that, like, you know. And I think if anything like that were to have happened, I think that would have scarred me for life, and I probably wouldn't have kids, for real, ever.
That would have scarred all of us for life.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I'm so thankful that even with all that, you know. Wait, that's not even the end of it, y'all. That's not even the end of it. So after all of that, remember when I told you I was, you know, the whole preeclampsia thing? So then I still I ended up getting blood clots in my, I forgot about that part, you know, in my uterus. So fucking, I had to go get a, what is it? A
procedure?
I had to go get surgery for it, to get it all removed, because I started feeling like really weak, and I started like turning white, like it was bad. I told my doctor, I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling good, like I don't know what's going on. So he checked me, and he was telling me that I had blood clots forming in my uterus, and I had to go get that. Yeah. So it was just, that's what I'm telling you, like it was all bad. My pregnancy was so bad, and I kind of, for a minute, like even now, like I think about it and I'm like, I wouldn't want to get pregnant again, but then it's just like I would want Matthew to have siblings, but it's just like I don't want to go through it again. What if I die this time? Like, you know? So there's that. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I guess
it's cool.
It's cool. It's cool.
Other than the preeclampsia, the
baby almost dying.
Baby almost dying. I almost died, and then 2 weeks later, I still almost died. Like, it's cool.
We're good. But yeah, that's
the story.
Yeah.
They had no tact though, the way they were reacting to that knot. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You guys see shit like this all the time, but like, bitch, we don't. The fuck?
Yeah. And it's so crazy because they're like, oh my god, like,
amazed. And I get it. I mean, obviously he's alive and stuff, but like, bitch, you're trying to tell me he could have died, and at the same time you're amazed. Like, what?
Yeah, but thank God every day for that he's okay, and yeah. But anyways, yeah, so those are the, I hate when I do that. I get tongue-tied. Alright, you guys, so that is our story for today.
Don't have babies, because you might die.
No, you won't. It was just my experience.
You might. Okay, what about Nina? She almost died too.
That's true, but that was because of the doctors. That
She almost died, right? Then Anna over here, fucking didn't even tell her nothing. Just fucking cut her open and shit. You forgot about Anna? Her C-section? Like, God knows why she got a C-section.
Why did she get a C-section?
No one knows. Doctors might know. We don't.
What the fuck? Yeah, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time, and as always,
and then Maria's always dying too when she's having babies. We're all fucked. Oh, sorry. Finish the video. I just had to remember. I'm trying to think of Monica, but
you get on my nerves.
Bye.
I don't even remember where the fuck I left off.
This is how I feel all the time, okay? You guys count on me for everything. Say bye.
Bye.